Hello friends, welcome back to General Surgery Made Easy. Today we are going to discuss another short note, that is pre-malignant lesions of the skin. In this video, we are going to deal with 7 pre-malignant lesions of the skin, each under the heading of salient features, risk of malignancy and treatment. Number 1. Actinic keratosis or solar keratosis. These are areas of dyskeratosis or cellular atypia with subepidermal inflammation. Here one important thing you have to remember is that dermoepidermal junction is normal and these lesions are occur on sun exposed areas of the skin. So what is the risk here? Here there is 20% risk of development of squamous cell carcinoma. So what are the treatment options available? Cryotherapy, topical application of 5-fluorouracil, carbon dioxide laser, dermabrasion, electrodesiccation and curettage. These are the various treatment options available. Number 2. Cutaneous horn. What are cutaneous horns? Cutaneous horns are cutaneous keratin accumulation. How this forms? This forms by slow discharge of sebum from a wide punctum that eventually get hardened to form a horn-like structure. In order to say the lesion is a horn, the length of the structure should be more than base diameter. So what will be the risk here? 10% of patients with cutaneous horn will have underlying squamous cell carcinoma. So what will be the treatment option? Surgical excision. Number 3 is keratoacanthoma. As you can see in this image, keratoacanthoma is a cup-shaped growth with a central crater filled with keratin plaque. Here, there is 2 times increased risk of development of keratoacanthoma in male population between the age of 50 to 70 years. Most common site is face. The etiological factors are human papillomavirus infection of the hair follicle during anagen phase. As you all know, hair growth have 2 phases, telogen phase and anagen phase. During anagen phase, if the hair follicle got infected with HPV, there will be risk of development of keratoacanthoma. What are the other etiological factors? Smoking and chemical carcinogen exposure. Another important salient feature is that keratoacanthoma will grow to attain a size of 1 to 3 cm in 6 weeks. Later there will be spontaneous resolution in 6 months. Removal of the keratin plaque from the central crater will fasten the spontaneous resolution. So what will be the risk here? Anaplastic squamous cell carcinoma. Actually, anaplastic squamous cell carcinoma is a differential diagnosis of keratoacanthoma. So the only treatment is surgical excision. Number 4 is Bowen's disease. Bowen's disease is nothing but slowly enlarging erythematous scaly patch or plaque. This can occur anywhere on the mucocutaneous junction. So Bowen's disease occurring on the penis, especially on glans penis, is known as erythroplasia of Querette. What are the etiological factors? Chronic solar damage, inorganic arsenic ingestion and HPV cystine infection. What will be the risk here? Bowen's disease is actually squamous cell carcinoma in situ. 3 to 11% of patients with Bowen's disease will eventually develop squamous cell carcinoma. So what is the treatment? Topical application of 5-FU or imiquimod, surgical excision with 4 mm margin, or Mohs micrographic surgery that can be used for larger or recurrent lesions. Number 5 is extramammary Paget's disease. This lesion will appear as eczematous lesion or intertrigo. This will occur in genital areas, perianal area and axilla. What are the peculiarity of these sites? These sites are rich in apocrine glands. Here there is 25% risk of underlying in situ or invasive intradermal adenocarcinoma. 25% risk of intradermal adenocarcinoma. Treatment is surgical excision. Number 6. Giant congenital pigmented nevus or giant hairy nevus. These are hamartoma. These are hamartoma of neomelanocytes with the typical dermatomal distribution. In this condition, the neomelanocytes are variably distributed from epidermis to subcutaneous fat and even into muscle. So, this will be histologically similar to compound nevi. Actually, congenital pigmented nevi is a precursor for malignant melanoma. Coming to treatment part, our aim of treatment is a multimodal approach with initial physical examination and investigation to rule out neurocutaneous melanosis and leptomeningeal involvement. After ruling out that, the treatment options available are complete excision, perinatal curettage, dermabrasion or laser resurfacing. Complete excision will later require reconstruction. Number 7 is dysplastic nevus. Dysplastic nevi are nothing but irregular proliferation of atypical melanocyte at the basal layer of epidermis. As you can see in this image, what are the features of dysplastic nevi? Asymmetry, border irregularity, color variation, diameter more than 6 mm, and these lesions are progressively evolving. So, this ABCDE of melanoma or dysplastic nevus is known as ugly duckling rule. So, what will be the risk here? 5 to 10% of patients with dysplastic nevi will develop superficial spreading type of melanoma. So, the treatment is surgical excision or Mohs micrographic surgery. Okay, let us try to memorize the premalignant lesions of the skin. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Instead of F, now on you start practicing K. A, B, C, D, E, K, G. A, B, C, D, E, K, G. Now tell me A for actinic keratosis, B for Bowen's disease, C for cutaneous horn, D for dysplastic nevi, E for extramammary pages, K for keratoacanthoма, G for giant congenital pigmented nevi. Okay, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.